Hello students, welcome to ePathshala. Today we are going to discuss liberalism as a theory in international relation. As we know, international relation emerged as an academic discipline in post-First World War era, and the liberalism was first coherent theoretical debate that emerged with certain questions. The questions were regarding the causes of war, consequences of war, and some remedies for future prevention of the war. After that, liberalism has emerged as one of most diverse theoretical debate in international relation. In today's lecture, we will see different variants of liberalism and critically analyze liberalism as a theory of international politics. At its core, liberalism upholds the liberty, freedom of the individual. The freedom of the individual is reflected in liberal doctrines and practices such as rule of law, equality, freedom of speech, justice, etc. Historically, liberalism is said to have had its antecedent in the European Enlightenment. However, these basic principles and doctrines and its common heritage have a broad range of ramification and have led liberal to advocate the diverse set of belief. The conceptual core of liberalism contains certain values, principles and purposes. These include rationalism, interests and altruism, change over continuity, normative assumptions and questions and rules, regimes and institutions. These core principles are an agglomeration of what different authors, researchers on the topic have ascribed to the liberal approach in IR. Rationalism. Actors in international system can achieve mutually advantageous outcome through rational thoughts, in opposition of what the ethos of power in politics propagates, that is, selfishness and self-seeking behavior in international relation. According to the realpolitik view, behavior of the actors vis-a-vis each other is constrained by uneven distribution of power and capabilities. Interests and altruism. Unlike realists who predict that theory on the inherent selfishness of state as regarded to attain power and ensure survival, liberals believe that self-interest fulfillment transpire in a more rational manner that accounts for both benefits and costs before implementing a certain course of action. The reason behind the same, as liberal claim, is that self-interests go beyond the self-preservation but also the capacity of moral thought, reason and human sympathy. Change over continuity. Since liberal believes that political and socio-economical development toward greater wealth and security is possible, they place their belief in possibility of change through human state action. Liberals seek to change the international realm from one that embroiled the zero-sum game to achieve security and ensure survival to one where mutual advantageous relation may be forged. Rule, regimes and institutions. In the democratic sphere, the presence of liberalism underscored the importance of rule and institutions that uphold the core values that constitute the same. Similar, in the international sphere, the liberal approach also reflects the role of rules and institutions in maintaining interstate relations, normative assumptions and questions. Although all variants of liberalism do not ascribe to a belief in a promotion of a normative approach, some variant within liberal tradition extrapolate conditions of greater justice, equality, freedom of state in international system, etc. Liberalism is considered to be more normative than others in terms of its philosophical foundation, as it does not emphasize only the materialistic conception of structure such as realism. Liberalism and IR, its principal variant. Liberalism has had a long tradition not only in political philosophy but also in its specific application to the international realm. The liberal tradition has generated a few primary theoretical formulations over the years that have been in turn with the shifts and changes in the sphere of international relation. Despite overlap in their evolutionary phases, they are listed subsequently as belonging to specific chronological frameworks. Liberal institutionalism. While the philosophical roots of liberalism can be traced back to the work of scholars writing in context of Judeo-Christian tradition, liberal internationalism can be traced back to the 18th century era of European Enlightenment. In this sense, the liberal tradition predates the emergence of disciplinary IR. However, liberal internationalism is taken to be part of disciplinary IR because of its re-emergence in 20th century as a reaction against as well as possibility for turbulence that civilization that characterize international relation at this point in time. It also provided a backdrop for emergence of realism in IR theory. Liberal internationalism can be traced to the interwar year and the growing realization that classic balance of power system that had to be replaced by a system of collective security based on international law, in which state transferred domestic concepts and practice to the international sphere. Liberal internationalism has never been internally unified, with multiple interpretations stemming from its application in variable temporal context, from its inceptions during the interwar years to the Cold War years and to the current international context of multiple challenges across the state borders and threats to justice, equality, and freedom as a consequence of interstate violence, ethnic conflict, and humanitarian emergencies. Liberal internationalism's theoretical authority has dwindled considerably. Neoliberal internationalism. The liberal internationalism of the interwar year was unseated as the primary approach explaining international relations by the realist. While the effect of behavior revolution on liberalism led to emergence of neoliberal institutionalism, it emerged as a more precise and positivist analysis of international relations with theorization of how institutions could influence state behavior in the international system. Its theoretical assumptions were predicted upon the acceptance of certain basic assumptions of neo-realism. Cohen and Nye, both prominent neoliberal institutionalists, were of the opinion that conflict in the military domain was not the only avenue of interstate interaction. Instead, complex interdependence characterized the relationship between countries, wherein multiple channels of communication, straddling different avenues of state activities and possible cooperation exist. Furthermore, neoliberal institutionalists did not accord the military sector primacy over the economic sector, thereby suggesting that states did not restore the force in order to settle conflict between each other. According to neoliberal institutionalists, cooperation in an anarchical system is possible as states are rational agents who values relative gains to absolute gains, whereby mutual advantageous situations are exploited by all agents involved without the exclusion of any prospective state willing to engage in the same. State in such situation realize that the pursuit of self-interest can bear disastrous consequences, whereas cooperation in order to reach mutual advantageous result is the best possible mode of engagement. Neoliberal institutionalists therefore believe that institutions and regimes can mitigate the negative aspects of anarchical international system and provide the basis for interstate cooperation. They also identify multiple indicators of state power beside the conventionally accepted indicators of military strength. Democratic peace theory. The third theoretical formulation within liberal tradition linked to democratic and international spheres by proposing that the present liberal democratic politics makes for more peaceful world. Democratic peace theory underscores the conjuncture that democracy specifically have preference that make peace more likely in their relation vis-a-vis one another. The same belief was also the central theme of Fukuyama's essay, which was later explained into a book titled The End of History and the Last Man, which saw the end of Cold War as the beginning of the march of liberal democracy and free market capitalism. Democratic liberal theory not based upon such claim, but on the idea that spread that democracies around the world would endanger peace, since interactions amongst them are based upon peaceful and mutual advantageous cooperation. The use of unpeaceful means of spreading democracy by powerful countries under the grip of messianic struggle for world peace obscure the line between actions that are morally justified and those that are not. The liberal international theory assessing its contribution and shortcomings. Liberalism in IRT facilitates a more holistic and multi-dimensional understanding of the way in which states relate and interact with one another. It also allows us to acknowledge and apprehend the possibility of change and progress in a sphere of politics that is given to repetition and continuity along lines envisaged by realist representation of IR as a war-bound realm with strictly limited potential for cooperation. However, there are certain weaknesses of the theory as well as its variant. For instance, liberal institutionalism has failed to prove that moral progress at the individual and state level has been the end toward which all actors are cooperating. It has also been proven that respect for human rights, justice and equality are not uniformly respected across the globe, a principle which the internationalists claim would be a necessary precondition for the establishment of international regulatory framework for ensuring peace. Neoliberal institutionalism provided a more empirically oriented explanatory theoretical framework than liberal internationalism. However, their claims regarding the willingness of states to cooperate in a mutual beneficial network of exchanges and probable benefits has been questioned by like of Joseph Garretio and John Marshimer. Democratic peace theory, the final theoretical formulation within the liberal tradition, has also been criticized by several scholars and theorists. These critics point out several instances of war being waged by democracies against non-democracies and democracies alike. These criticisms, based upon experimental data falsifies several of the core theoretical assumptions purported by democratic peace theory. In totality, the entire tradition of international relation theory has been criticized for ascribing to an ethnocentric worldview, as well as for its association with capitalism, liberalism, close identification with the Western world, and the universal moralism in which the imperialist foreign policies are couched have also been challenged by its critique. The close association of international institutions, regime, and organization with these ideas and hegemonic power of the Western capitalist world further weaken liberals' claims of democracy. Macmillan advised a revision of basic foundational tenets of liberalism. The intention is to seek a more effective and equitable system of global governance that is sensitive to differences and thereby encourage an inter-civilizational understanding that would underline the new globalism that is founded on principle of equality of people and civilization. Despite its major shortcoming, liberalism offers dynamism to the academic field of international relation theory, along with the prospect of changes and development, as well as the hope that individual worth and morality are factors that will prove strong enough to bring world closer toward peace and cooperation. So in our presentation, we have seen that liberalism has evolved as a theory of international relation. It is one of the most dominating theory of IR. It is still evolving and confronting various challenges. From realist criticism, it changed its epistemology and ontology. Firstly, it was trying to explain the world what it ought to be, and now it is trying to explain world what it is. So it is still confronting challenges and still changing itself.